So now I've got my sum of squares within groups, and now all I have to do is just add this up. And when I add it up, I will get 61.55 plus 3.34. That'll give me 64.89. Total is going to be my sum of squares total. Now I'll go back to my degrees of freedom between groups, and remember that was my groups minus 1. So k minus 1 is going to be 2, and n minus k is going to be 6. So I should have between groups 2 degrees of freedom, and sum of squares within groups I should have 6 degrees of freedom. So I should have a total degrees of freedom of total n minus 1, which would be 8. So I'm just adding those two things together. Now, to get my mean square, it's pretty simple from here. All I have to do is start taking my sum of squares and divide it by my degrees of freedom. So let's see if we can do this. So I've got 61.55 over 2 is going to be my mean square within groups. So let's do this. 61.55 divided by 2 is going to give me a value of 30.775. So 30.775. Now I'm going to look at my sum of squares, or my mean squares, I'm sorry. So my mean square, which is a variance, within groups is going to be a value of my sum of squares over my degrees of freedom. So 3.34 divided by 6 gives me a value of 0.556. So now I can go ahead and put that in there, 0.556. And now to find my F ratio, I will just divide 30.775 over 0.556 gives me a value of 53.35. And